Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. Alongside James and Chris, my name is Ryan. Thank you to our sponsors, DraftKings Sportsbook and Game Time. Use that promo code THPN the next time you are there. Dallas Stars lose by a final score of 3-2 here in this game against the Los Angeles Kings. We've got lots of things to talk about. Hopefully, we're not going to make it too long because at the time of this recording, it is literally 12:01 a.m. Central Time. How are we feeling after this game, guys? Because I think from the general consensus off of social media, we're all asking, what?
Yeah, that's a pretty fair question too, because the Stars did pretty much everything right, except Otter let in a bad goal at a bad time. Other than that, the Stars played a really good game, I thought.
Yeah, it's such a weird one to get into when you look at the game as a whole and you feel like it's a win, and at the end of the night, it's 3-2 against you.
I think this was a little bit of retribution and a little bit of sacrifice to the hockey gods for the win that we got against Utah on Monday, if I'm being totally honest. We should have lost that game. Any other team, a higher ranking team, we probably would have lost that game. Tonight, the reason why we asked these questions, it was just a weird game. Like the first period, I would argue, was probably the best period we've seen the Dallas Stars play, especially on the road, this whole season. And something happened. I don't know what it was, but all three goals, I don't want to call them fluky. The last one wasn't as fluky, but the first two were just kind of out of nowhere. The hockey gods were like, I guess we're just going to gift the game to the LA Kings today.
Yeah, one trampolines off the backboards back to directly the guy that just lost the puck, and the other one's going 10 feet wide and finds a way to bounce in off of a defenseman in Heiskanen, who's making a great play, including the guy out of the front of the net to give Otter a good line at the puck. And the only reason Otter couldn't get it is because it was 10 feet wide. I mean, it just really was unlucky. And as always, advanced analytics don't matter until they confirm what you already think. Advanced analytics say that the Stars should have won this game pretty easily. Money Puck had their deserve to win meter, which we've been trying to get away from, but I like using it whenever it confirms my biases. Has us deserving to win 75% of the time. So yeah, I think it's just a weird game. And it also helps confirm to our fans here, because after the past 3 losses, we've been pretty upset that we're not always upset after losses, because the Stars played good tonight. They lost somehow, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, just annoying to stay up till midnight to see that.
Yes.
It's really a weird one, especially coming off of the just crazy goaltending performance of DeSmith.
I mean, there's really not much to analytically kind of get into, guys. I mean, the Stars were the better team. LA got a couple of bounces and they scored one good goal that Otter probably shouldn't have let in. So yeah. let me rephrase it. It was a good goal for them. Like that was a goal that they actually worked for.
It was a good.
That should have not gone in the back of the net for Ottinger. He normally makes that save 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, that's true. And this is the one complaint against Otter that I give a little bit of credit, is like giving up the wrong goal at the wrong time, not having the clutch factor as often. So that's the one kind of complaint I'll give critics of Otter. But yeah, I don't know. You got to have that one, and it honestly, it ended up costing you the game, along with a million other bounces that didn't go the Stars' way.
Yeah, even bounces at the other side of the rink too. I mean, the chances tonight were crazy high, and it was always just like half an inch too far away, or just going wide as well. I mean, even late in that game, Duchesne had the chance, and it goes over the top of the net, hits the top of the net, and rolls off. So
yeah, and the other topic that probably leaves a bad taste in Stars fans' mouth tonight is the power play, especially how bad that one at the end of the game was, and such a key moment. I mean, you get the man advantage with 4 minutes left in the game. A team with a good power play and a clutch power play scores that goal, ties it up, gets at least a point. So that kind of underscores your power play troubles, which have been better as of recently, but I mean, that's when you really wanted one.
Okay, that's fair. You can't really say it's been bad, Chris. They've had 5 power play goals in the last 5 games. They're 7 for 23 in their last 7.
I'm not
clicking at 26%.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it's been bad, but I mean, if you go back and look, it's a small sample size through 5 games. First of all, if you go back and look at each of those power play goals, I'd say less than half of them were from getting set up in the zone and actually running our actual power play. I mean, including the power play goal tonight. Like, someone made a good comment earlier. I've lost it because we've got a lot of comments so far tonight, but they said the power play was chaotic at the end. And that's how the first power play felt too. It was chaotic. We had 2 good chances, one off a deflection that just missed the net, and the other one was a goal. And the last power play was chaotic too, and it didn't work out. So,
and when structure isn't working, maybe that's really what they have found success in recently. I mean, it's the only thing that's working. The only thing is it looks ugly, but they're finding a way to score on it.
Yeah, agreed. So if we have to do ugly to score in the power play, I'd rather do ugly and score some than do pretty and score none.
The thing about it though, guys, it's they're getting more opportunities rather than just one shot, right? And even the goal tonight on the power play, it was not the original shot that goes in. Yes, Wyatt Johnston is the one that gets his own rebound, but it's still the second opportunity that goes through.
That was the 1 second opportunity they had all game. If you go back to the first power play, the whole problem with it was one opportunity and out. You had one chance to pass as soon as you cross the blue line. You fumble that one pass and it's gone. You have one shot and it's gone. Even our deflection, it was one shot, deflected. It didn't hit the net. Boom, it's gone. It's out of the zone. Same thing with the second power play. You have one chance to make a play. You don't make the perfect play, and it's out of your zone. So that's where I think there's not really a lot of second chances that are happening right now for the Stars. And that's why we're seeing a lot of goals on the rush on the power play, and we're seeing a lot of these weird, chaotic goals, like James was saying. So I don't know. I think it's still not good, but they're finding a way to work around it a little bit, I guess.
I just don't want to complain too much about the power play because I complained about it for a long time, and then now it's actually starting to click. And yes, it is a small sample size, but the thing I've been complaining about was consistency. They'd have a game where they just blow up the power play, get to like 2 power play goals or 3 power play goals or whatever, and now it's actually starting to show some consistency over the course of the last week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever you want to say.
That's true. I'll give it that, and I'll complain about it not being clutch. Same with Otter, not clutch.
Are we still going after Steve Spott's job, guys?
I already said I'm not entertaining this conversation anymore. I don't like his power play. I don't think it's working good. He's not going to get fired. It doesn't matter.
You know, people are still going to talk about it though.
That's fair.
But the more consistent it gets from here on out, the less we'll hear about it. And I'm pretty sure we'll hear about it tonight just because of the last power play and the fact that we didn't get a goal when we needed it. But there's still a goal that happens on the power play today. It was just the game was so weird. We did everything right. We were on the road. We played a perfect first period. We played really well defensively. We got a goal on the power play on the road, which is exactly what you want to do. We're 14-3 when we score the first goal and we take the lead going into the first intermission. It was just such a weird game here tonight, and I think just the word is frustrating. And I mean, I'm already ready to write this one off and everything, but at the same time, this is like, man, this is a game we should have kept, and then another 2 points that we should have had.
Yeah, and a lot of media people are saying like, "Oh, the Stars only played one period tonight." That's not really true. Like the Kings played a better second period. I think the Stars still had more chances and better chances, and the Stars totally outplayed them in the third period. So, yeah, the Stars played a good game. They played well, and it's a game with a frozen rubber disc, so weird things happen sometimes.
I'll say it. There was luck involved in this game tonight for the LA Kings, and
yeah, I think we've said that a lot.
But I mean, we said like hockey gods or whatever, but there was 100% an element of luck in this game tonight. Okay, let's be honest. It wasn't just the goals. Okay, right? What are the chances that happens on the Duchesne chance there at the end of the game? Oh, he just happens to get his stick in the exact right spot where it doesn't go in, and it just barely goes over the top of the net.
Yeah, not to mention
come
the
on.
2 or 3 post hits we had and the save
Wyatt
with
Johnston,
the knob of
yeah.
the stick. So, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that happened tonight.
Okay. this is I want to get to this because this was one of the first things that chat started talking about, and I think it's worthy to talk about at this point. Robertson, he does make the good pass on the power play to begin with, but even on the power play later, when he's on the point, he just looks off and he doesn't make good plays with the puck at the point when he gets pressured. He doesn't seem like he can get it down deep in the zone. He can't pass the puck off, and it's constantly going out of the zone when Robertson has the puck up there. But just to give you some comments that people are talking about, let's see. Mato, his shots seem like muffins and his skating is like Pavs in the playoffs. He's just very underwhelming. And then Ryan Gardner didn't watch the game tonight. He said on chat, but he said, I am seeing a lot of Robo from this on X. Was he worse than usual? So this is going to continue being a talking point because Robertson is still not looking like Robertson.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's as much as playmaking skill as his shooting. I mean, his shooting percentage is down by 4%. Like he's shooting an 8.8 and he has never shot this bad ever in his entire career. So
is it because he's not shooting?
No. Honestly, I think he's just having a hard time finding his shot this year. And once he starts getting those sniper shots again, I think he can pick back up really easily. But it's gonna be a struggle for him for a while. I think he's not been able to find it at all, and I feel like his goals typically cover up a lot of what's bad in his game. I mean that was his big thing for the past like 3 years is that he scores goals when we need it.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder how much is due to that early season injury. And this is something that y'all brought up a few games ago that I kind of ruled out as a possibility. But after listening to a few more people who are closer to the Stars talk about it, apparently Robertson's a guy that like really like prioritizes having a good, strong offseason. And he's skating almost immediately after the season ends and is really methodical in how he prepares for the season and how he ramps up. So maybe the injury did have more of an effect on him than we thought, more so just on how he prepared to get ready for the season and is affecting him now as he's trying to build up with what would be the off season where he'd be able to do this on his own and not be playing a bunch of games and being in front of everybody is what we're seeing now. So I think he's still getting better. The assist tonight is a great assist off of a board play down below the net. So I think he is getting better. And I am kind of willing after hearing all that to kind of chalk this up to, hey, he's in a weird situation for him. Like last time he missed a training camp, he was still skating. He was still getting ready for the season. He was still doing all those same things. This time he actually couldn't skate. And that's a totally different scenario that he hasn't been in yet. So I'll chalk it up to that. I think he's getting better. He still needs to get better for this team to get where it wants to go, but I think it'll come.
Especially with Sagan out. I mean, he's got to be the one that starts stepping up. When you're talking about how lethal Sagan's shot was up until he's now out, we're going to need some more goals, and really he's the one that should be filling that space.
And we'll talk. There's a lot to unpack there. We'll get there another time. We'll talk about Sagan, but I mean, how much of a factor is Joe Pavelski not being in the lineup? How much of a factor is that for Jason Robertson? I mean, is it just the injury, or do you think it's the injury and it's the fact that Joe Pavelski's not on this team anymore?
I really don't know if that's as much of a factor at this point, because we saw them still producing during the playoffs when everyone knew Joe Pavelski was not able to play in those playoffs, and those two were still producing. And now Wyatt Johnson is picking up steam and is playing better and better every single game, and is a better line mate than Pavelski was during those playoffs. So I feel like he would be able to help those guys out more than Pavelski would have at that time. So.
Right, but
I think those three are going to be able to click together just fine, and it's just a time thing for Robo. And Rope is already showing that he's enjoying playing with Johnston. So I think it should take some more time for Robertson to wind up into the season.
The thing though is that Joe Pavelski did so many things that a lot of people don't realize that he did. His I know he was very good offensively even at the age of 39, but his defensive play was just ridiculous, and his hockey IQ was so high that he didn't really have to rely on skating all that much towards the end of his career. He would just be at the right spot at the right time, and he'd be able to be there for those guys. There is some truth to what you said though, Chris, in the playoffs, that both of those guys still produced in the playoffs, and I don't know what the elixir is for Jason Robertson. Maybe it's just time. Maybe that's the only thing we can get is just time, and he'll get better as the season gets over. But we really need him right now to kind of take that step forward with Sagan being out basically for the season.
And hey, if you want another Pavelski, there's a guy in Pittsburgh that might be available now that you got some extra money lying around.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not. We'll talk about that. Maybe we need to do an episode like tomorrow night because there's so much to unpack with all that. Okay. Anyways, there anything else that you guys can think of that we need to talk about? I know I'm forgetting something. There was one other thing that I wanted to bring up.
I can't think of what you're trying to think of. I think I'm good.
Oh, no. I got it. Sorry. We got to give some praise to Wyatt Johnston. He is officially, he was already hot, but he's officially like back. He's got 8 points in 8. Oh, come on. He's got 8 points in 8 games. Gets a goal here tonight off the Robertson assist behind the net on the power play. And then Marchment, my goodness, what can he do right now? That shot was, I mean, had it been 1 millimeter to the left, it hits the post and goes away. I mean, that's how much of a seeing eye shot that was. Just an absolute pitch perfect shot going towards the net. I mean, he's just ridiculous. And
so much confidence too. I mean, you saw him on that odd man rush trying the backhand, just like you did on the spinorama. He is feeling it.
So I think that needed to be said, but okay.
That's one big thing about tonight is that you see Marchment doing the same things that he was with Sagan on the line, without him on the line tonight.
Yep.
Oh, and that's why everyone's frustrated. There's so many good things that happened in the game tonight. I thought the Stars played really well. I thought they deserved to win. They deserve to win. O-meter says so. The analytics prove it.
I mean, we had the puck most of the game too. I mean, puck possession is probably crazy in this game. I haven't looked at it, but it has to be pretty high for the Stars.
And then the only other thing I can think of is that would be just a negative is the fact that we only got 2 goals. I mean that's really it. And when you have a nutso game like this and you have crazy bounces that happen to go perfectly for the other team, sometimes it's nice to have that extra goal to to let freak things like that happen. I guess I don't know.
Your hillbilly puck possession numbers, James. The Kings had 32 hits. The Stars had 8. So you can't hit them if you have the puck.
Yeah. But also the Stars won 3 straight, and the Stars are not allowed to go on winning streaks.
That's
as
correct.
we all know.
I was waiting for James to say that.
I got home tonight, and I told Samantha, my wife, I said, the Stars won 3 in a row. So what does that mean tonight? And she said they're gonna lose. So
she knows better. She knows better.
The Stars don't go on win streaks, but they're really good at winning 3 in a row.
Yes.
Something about the 4th. If we break that barrier, man, watch out.
Yeah. 82-0 season if we start 4-0 next year. Okay. Anyways, I think we need to wrap it up because it is late and we all got jobs to get to tomorrow. But biggest winner, biggest loser, and then we'll wrap it up. Who you got?
Biggest winner is Mason Marchment. I mean, we should just keep saying that every game until he stops doing what he's doing. But I don't want him to stop doing what he's doing. He's crazy. This is the Mason Marchment that we all saw, like when he first came to Dallas that first year, we saw little sparkles in there. We're like, that's who that guy can be. And he is fully doing it right now. I mean, this is 100% max Mason Marchment right now. Even the physicality, he's still throwing it around, still being crazy reckless on the forecheck. I love it.
but not taking stupid penalties.
And
Right?
also his defense, 2 huge back checks tonight that
That's
were
true.
crazy good. I mean, and if you said that the first year, I thought you'd be insane that Mason Marchman's playing good defense, and he really is.
James?
I'm going to give my biggest winner to Matt Dumba. He had a very rough game against Chicago. And
I was scared
his last,
to say it. I was
his
actually
last
I was
two games,
actually thinking about it, and I was
his
scared to
last
say
two
it.
games have been very solid. They're not $4 million worth, but if he can play the 6th defenseman like that every night, just do it. I mean, that's all we need. We don't need more than that.
That's a dang expensive 6th defenseman.
I agree, but we ain't got nothing else right now.
Just like a 3.25 fourth line center, Chris?
Correct.
Except that one was actually good.
Yeah, he was
Ooh.
good.
Did you just give him your biggest winner? Goodness,
I did.
what are these shots?
He's very good
You
game.
trashed him. That is absolutely insane that you thought that you said that, James, because I was actually thinking about it, and I was honestly afraid to say it because I was afraid to get trashed by you and Chris. I was just like, if I say this and I believe it,
and then, also he pinched down on the Marchment goal too. I mean, he's part of the pressure on that forecheck that created the goal.
That is exactly what I told Padre and I think it was Cooper or Travis that was watching with us. I was just like, he was there. He wasn't the main culprit. It was mostly Stankoven, but he was the culprit there. He was part of the pressure there. So that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. I guess I'll give it to the other obvious one here today. Wyatt Johnston, 8 points in 8 games. He's getting hot at the right time. He needs to continue it. We need him to continue it, and maybe him playing with Robertson will get Robertson going as well. So
bonus Nils Lundqvist, 6 shots on goal. They weren't great shots, but hey, he had a lot of them.
And again, so and with that, like you said, Chris, we're seeing hints of the offensive side of the puck with him, and it's just not accumulating on the score sheet or whatnot. I think he's at like again, I know we hate plus minus, but we use it when it's good for us and when our players look good. But I think he's at like a plus 16 on the season.
On his career.
On his career? Okay,
plus
what is he on
the season?
Still, plus 4. That's pretty. That's a lot better.
With only
than
1 point, too. 1
Yeah.
assist in his plus 4. So that's
and he's had his first season here. He was like for a little while at least. He was like
he went
leading with rookie goal scoring.
He went -5 the first season he was with the Stars, and he played 60 games.
Right, and we're
Stars.
True. Okay. I think that's it. Anything else?
Biggest loser?
Oh,
Ryan.
Good job, host. Biggest loser is
Biggest
Ryan
loser
for
is
forgetting
Ryan.
about the biggest loser. James, your biggest loser.
I was actually going to give my biggest loser to Nils Lundqvist for the 6 shots and no goals.
Yep, that's
because
fair.
He had so many chances, and I was like, stop shooting it into his chest. Like he could have had 3 or 4 goals tonight.
I like that.
I mean,
he gets a biggest winner and a biggest loser. That is,
and he deserves both of them.
I guess I'll give it just to the Stars' unluckiness tonight.
Otter.
Yeah, Jay.
That's bad. That's a bad third goal.
Okay,
Not
fine.
good.
But in all reality, it's just an unlucky night for the Stars. They did not have any puck luck. That's why that's the biggest loser here tonight. It's the Stars' unluckiness, and just seemed to be the perfect opportunities for the LA Kings at the right time.
That's the big story. Hockey, weird sport. Best team doesn't always win.
Yes, and that's why hockey is fun, even though you hate to see it to your own team.
Chaos.
So, okay. We have lots more to talk about. We're not going to do it tonight because it's late, but we will figure out another time to talk about it, whether that's in the next game or maybe we do an episode tomorrow. We'll talk about that off air here in just a second. But for tonight, thank you all for listening along with us. And there's even more of you who are listening afterwards, especially with it being a late night. Thank you to Game Time and DraftKings Sportsbook. That promo code is THPN. StarcasticRemarks.com is the website. Follow us all across social media at StarcasticR. If you're listening on the audio side, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. If you're on YouTube, click like and subscribe. And as always, along with James and along with Chris, my name is Ryan. We will catch you guys on the flip side. We'll be back with you guys again on Friday, and at the very latest, maybe even tomorrow. And we hope you have a good time there. Okay. Thank you guys so much.